The 5 foundation poses. We're gonna run through these. Let me have my lovely couple come up. And I'm gonna preface this with they are not an actual couple. Brandon and Andrea, they're models. Well, they actually work for us too. But we are gonna make this extremely awkward for them and make them kiss. Just because we can. I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay, so the foundation poses, when the whole reason that we created this entire framework was that when we came into the studio and we said we need to be able to train our shooters to be able to do this kind of thing on their own, it was down to like, how do we teach them how to pose? I went and literally just studied poses. I had Pinterest boards and all these different boards up, and what I found is that you could basically take 90 something, I think it was the number was like 97% of poses came from 5 basic positions of the feet. And so I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make foundation posing, where we teach people how to position the feet and the body, and then you can build anything from there. So basically these 5 different poses, these 5 different foundations, you can create virtually any different look by just making micro adjustments, by just moving hands and kind of moving eyes, and that's it. So it's a very simple framework for you guys to use, and it'll help you to get in and out of poses very quickly, and I'm gonna show you exactly what it is now with the couple. So let's go ahead and what I wanna do first is let's get them standing in a good spot. So I think you guys are actually solid right there. What I'm gonna do though is let's flip your sides. The reason why we're doing this is because I want Andrea's side to be where we're lighting into, okay? So we're lighting into her side, and we're gonna keep Brandon in the shadow. So Brandon, what I'm gonna have you do, and let's not worry too much about the train for right now. We're just gonna place this behind her. Okay, and step, let's see. Joe, do you need them to step anywhere? Like, are they centered up?
They're centered up.
They're centered up, okay. So guys, we're gonna start with the V up, and all I'm gonna have you do is step closer together to each other. And Brandon, your arm is gonna go down and onto her hip on this side. Oh, sorry, your right arm, there you go. And Andrea, you can just relax your hand in the back. So just let it drop. Perfect. Okay, now, Andrea, you're just gonna open up a little bit with this side, and then that's perfect, Brandon. So we call this the V up because basically your shoulders are making a V in the back, right? So the way that your shoulders are positioned, your feet are kind of in towards each other, and then your shoulders are making that V. Now, you guys have never posed for me before, correct? This is the first time? But if I were to tell you, well, treat your shoulder like the hinge on a door. Mm-hmm. So right now you're making a V. If I said, Andrea, there's the camera, open, close. Have you ever done that before?
Nope.
Okay. Brandon, close to Andrea. So if I were to say, what do you guys think a closed pose would be? What do you think that would be?
Putting each other's body together like this.
Do it. Show the camera what a closed pose would be. So what I want you guys to do is point each other's chest toward each other. Close all the way. Perfect. This becomes a closed pose. If I were to say, guys, what do you think an open pose would be? Okay, hold hands in the center. Open all the way to the camera. Perfect. That's really simple, right?
Yeah.
So now all I have to do is basically say, guys, go into a, wow. And action. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take a quick picture of each of those. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip. So guys, go into the V up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn over to Lightroom. Beautiful, beautiful. So good. So Joe, why don't you center them up? And let me make sure I'm out of the frame. I want you to go into the V up. And then, Brandon, why don't you just put your left hand in the pocket and look right into that camera. And Joe, when you're ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Perfect. Now, you can tell they're models because do you see how Andrea's head angle is leaning away from Brandon? That's actually a body language sign of discomfort. We're gonna get to that later. But they're making the V. Okay, Perfect. Let's do one more V with the head angles kind of in toward each other, so tilt the heads a little bit, not too much. So come up a little bit, there you go. And then my dear, open up the shoulder. And now every time I use the words like open, close, she now knows what that means, right? So if I say, Andrea, just open a little bit more, there you go, right there. Perfect. Slight tilt into each other. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, look, they like each other. That's so much better. Okay, so a basic V. Now, watch this, guys. Close completely against each other. Hold hands. There you go. Touch foreheads, that's great. I love it. Go ahead and take that picture.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Once again, they don't really like each other. We got hip spacing. Brandon, why don't you use your backhand to pull her in from the hip and do one more close pose. There you go. And do that one more time.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, look, they like each other again. That's great. Okay, awesome. Okay, go ahead and open up now to the camera. Hold hands in the center. Look directly into the camera. Joe, make sure they're centered up.
1, 2, 3.
And Andrea, my dear, I think you're a little bit, like, open completely to the camera. So chest straight into the camera. Turn, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's open. Okay, one more time.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ideally, look like a less angry couple. Perfect. Okay. All we did, there's just a couple different basic feet positions, right? This, this, this. That's 3. What are the other ones? Stacked. So all we're going to do is, Andrea, you're going to step in front. There you go. And I want you to put your back into his chest. So you're basically stacking your feet like that. Okay?
Step on you.
There you go. Now hold hands right here. Perfect. And I want you guys to look into the camera. What I want to do is I just want to make sure you're going to see what this looks like, but we're going to talk about overlap. Why don't you go ahead and take that shot while they're looking into the camera?
Looking in the camera, guys. Into the camera. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's probably going to happen right now is Brandon's going to look like he's hiding. A little bit. Not too bad. Brandon, take a small step out to your left, just so you're a little bit, there you go. And go for it one more time. And Andrea, relax your right hand down.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Stacked. Feet are stacked in front of each other. The last one is reversed. So, Brandon, you're going to turn. This is where one person's feet goes one direction, the other person goes the other direction. Okay, Andrea, you're going to hug onto his arm. Brandon, you're going to look towards Andrea. Andrea's going to look into the camera.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Andrea, what I want you to do is open your chest to the camera more, just like that. There you go. Now look into the camera. Brandon, turn your head a little bit more into her and look towards her, smiling. Lean into her a little bit with the face, and then take that shot again.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect. Okay. Very simple positioning, right? Those 5 basic things. Why do we say those 5 basic things? Because watch, with those 5 basic positions, we can start doing a whole heck of a lot of different stuff. So, let's summarize briefly, and then I'm going to give you a quick glance. Okay, so here we have our lovely V, lovely closed, lovely open, lovely stacked, lovely reversed. From each of these positions, we're going to talk about how each of them has a different level of intimacy, okay? We'll be discussing that as we get into body language. But from each of these positions, wouldn't all we need to do is basically just control where the eyes are going, control how close they are, control expression and those kind of things. But basically we have every shot and controlled distance. For example, this, they could be standing next to each other. They could also open up. They could then look into each other. In fact, why don't we show them? Open up to the camera. Okay, get your angle. It's so easy for me to direct this. Like, I don't have to do anything now. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I can direct from just over here, and they can understand exactly what I'm saying. So that's great, guys, but I want you to open 100% to those cameras. So chest straight into the camera. Perfect. Now I want you guys to look in towards each other, but stay open to the camera and just look at each other. There you go.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Cute. She's making a fist like she wants to punch him, but that's okay. Once again, little tension, little tension. It's okay, it's fine, it's good, it's fine. Okay, Brandon, look at her, and Andrea, look into the camera. Kick the hip a little bit. Andrea, I love the way that, yeah, that's perfect. I'm not even watching. Cute. Could we not bring Andrea out in front and have her lead him with the open pose? Like do a walking shot? Hugging onto his arm. We're gonna do a full demonstration in a minute, but I want you guys to start thinking of like, all we have to do is make different micro adjustments from each of these positions. We could put them in one pose and make a series of micro adjustments to completely change the way that it looks. Okay? Now, let me just glance at these real quick, because we are gonna do the demonstration. So let's go back to this. Guys, we've spent maybe 10 minutes on this. Do you feel like that's pretty simple to understand?
Yeah.
If I said, remember those 5 things, do you think you'd be able to do it? So if we were to walk into a scene and I said, guys, close against each other, could you do it now? Yeah. they're so funny. It's like,
Where's that?
so perfect. Okay. If I were to say, guys, I want you to stack and look towards the camera. Perfect. And then I want you to look down into this side, Andrea, and then look down towards her, Brandon. Perfect. It's so simple now. So we start each shoot with this foundation posing guidance. Okay, so I always have my clients come 15 minutes early. We start with foundation posing. I'll usually go with the guys first and say, this is what I'm going to have you do. With the girls, second, this is what I'm going to have you do. And then with the couple together, this is what I'm going to have you do together. Right now, I just want to teach you the feet positions. We're going to get into the other piece as we go into the men's and the women's posing portions. But everybody think that they could do this? Pretty simple? Okay, everybody think that their clients could probably do this? Pretty simple? Okay, so let's go ahead and why don't we give our lovely models a hand? So that was the guidance that I gave to you guys, and that probably took 15, 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and cut here. I want to go to the next video, and in the next video, we're going to give you the client version of this, so the version that they're going to hear of the foundation poses. So it's a little quicker. Welcome to chapter 3, post-lunch. I have a little exercise I want you all to do right now. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make all of you guys do the choo-choo train. Whoa! On 3, okay? You're doing it. On 3. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Okay. That's actually a scientifically proven method of boosting your energy and your mood. Anytime you feel like you need more energy or you're not very happy or whatever it is, get in your car and scream or do something stupid, and I promise you, you will instantly feel better. It's a psychological thing. And since you guys just ate lunch, I felt like we needed that. I might do it again later. FYI. Foundation posing for men. Posing goals for men. Our very first video. Let's go ahead and just review our goals in general. We want to go for masculinity, a chiseled look, strength, power. We're going to achieve that with stronger stances, lower angles, harder light and more shadows. And because we've kind of talked about this already, I'm gonna go ahead and just segue this right into the next section or that next video. We're gonna go ahead and bring up our model. So Brandon, come on up. We're gonna do our foundation posing framework for men. This is gonna be so usually when we go through and do that kind of demo with our clients, I'll usually start with the guys. This is the run through that I'm gonna give them to give them a bit of guidance. So let's actually do what we're gonna do. And what I want you to do is, Joe, can you get on the camera, get the camera tripoded and get a shot? Because we're gonna go through and do a couple different images here so you guys can see what this looks like. So we want a wide stance. What we're looking for is the toes to go out about shoulder width apart. If you spread the legs too far, you get the cowboy look, right? You bring the legs in too close, you get the diminished look. So what we're looking is to strengthen with a strong stance, shoulder width apart, toes going out. Joe, let me know when you're ready and then we'll do some shots. Toes need to go out, the spine needs to be straight. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna turn Brandon to the camera. And what I'm talking about is, Brandon, if you were to actually slouch, like stand, there you go. So there's a curve in his spine that goes all the way down. Now this is your lumbar spine, this is your thoracic spine, this is your cervical spine. If you guys have doctors as clients, which all of you guys do because many of our clients are doctors, actually use these terms because it's impressive that you actually know what these are called. Lumbar, we're looking for a curve, a smiley face. Just keep that in mind. We want the lumbar to be curved. You're gonna kind of push it in when you're demonstrating for them. The thoracic and cervical we want straightened out. You're gonna get there by having them stand up tall, bring the shoulders back a little bit. And it creates that nice heightened look to him. So go ahead and go to the slouch again. Okay, do you see how his height just changed? Go ahead and go back. Okay, so look at the pen. I'm gonna make the pen the very top of his head when he's tall. Now go ahead and slouch again. How much do we lose? About an inch of height. So it's quite a bit and it's very noticeable actually when you see it in frame. Stand up tall again. Okay, so we want to make sure that the spine is straightened. Next thing we want to do is, if you kind of go, you know what, let's go sideways again to the camera so they can see this. I want you to let all the air out of your chest and just let the stomach hang forward. There you go. Okay, this is not necessarily the best look, right? This is actually a diminishing look because we've taken the chest and we've actually shrunk it down and we've actually expanded the belly, which is the exact opposite of what we want to do as guys. So what you're gonna do is say, take a breath in, okay? Automatically it brings the diaphragm in and the chest comes and it gets expanded. So when you see it on camera and he's facing forward, you'll actually see, let's combine those few things right now. So go slouch again, go regular, and then let the belly hang forward, okay? And then look at the side angle of that same thing. Okay, now go back to the audience and go ahead and straighten the spine and then take a breath into the chest. Okay, he should open. He should have a stronger presence as soon as he does those things. We want him to relax the shoulders. Generally, you want to kind of let the shoulders hang a little bit and just kind of relax them. If you feel like he's not standing up tall enough, you can bring the shoulders back a little bit and it kind of makes the back straighten a little bit more. If he looks like he's got a lot of tension in the shoulders, tell him to hang the shoulders forward a little bit and that'll release tension. Hands posed with purpose or at rest. We're gonna get to this in detail, but basically whatever the hands are doing, there needs to be a reason for why they're doing it. Neck is gonna be extended slightly forward, just a little bit, not to the point where he's turtling. Let me kind of show you what I mean. Extend the neck forward a lot, okay? So it makes him look like a turtle kind of, right? So I want you to stand up tall, okay? There you go. And then just kind of just bring the chin forward a little bit. There you go. So it's just a slight extension forward so that it's not, all we want is just to tighten up the skin underneath the jawline. That's it. Okay, one other thing I want you to remember with the neck is that it extends from the spine, right? So the neck, I've looked at a lot of photographs and I've tried to figure out why something looks odd. And we're gonna show you an analysis of that later on. But the reason why is because if you break the neck angle from where the spine is leading, so the spine is leading up right now. Let's say you lean the head forward and look down. The spine is going up and then all of a sudden his neck is jutted forward. It doesn't make sense. Now, if you were actually, like say, operating that camera, like lean over to the camera and like actually control it. his spine is going to curve into it naturally, whatever he's doing. So then when his neck is doing something, well, my spine's already leaning into it and my neck is extending from there and it looks more natural. When the neck breaks from the angle of the spine, it becomes very odd, and you'll see it as we do it in a minute. For men, their walk is going to be regular. So just a standard walk, toes out. Now I want to show you a couple of these things in image format so you guys can see just how they make somebody look. Let's go ahead and go back to Lightroom. You ready, Joe?
I am.
Okay. So let's start from the top with your toes. And by the way, we call it foundation posing because through that entire thing, we actually worked from the feet up to the head. Okay? So that's the way that I like to work everything with my clients. Let's start with a diminished pose. I want you to actually point the toes in. Okay? Let the back and everything slouch and just make sure he's standing in the middle. Go ahead and pop that shot when you're ready, Joe.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. From a body language standpoint, what is this image telling you?
Wimpy kid.
A wimpy kid. What else?
Insecure.
Shy, insecure.
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here. Possibly might have to pee. You know, like when you have to pee, you're kind of like, okay. Open the stance. Okay, keep slouching on the shoulders, it's fine. But just keep the shoulder width apart. There you go. Go ahead and pop.
2, 3.
And keep the same expression so it doesn't look like, okay. So immediately, right? We haven't even corrected anything else. We haven't fixed anything. We've just gone from these two a lot better already, right? Okay. Okay, slouch. Toes are out now. Okay, pop the shot. Same expression. Perfect. Go ahead and stand up tall. And take a breath in on the chest. Difference? Look at the chest expansion. Do you see how it naturally opened up gaps between the arms as soon as he did that? What else? You guys remember? Okay. Let's do one side shot. I want to do that slouch from the side, actually. Slouch from the side with the neck kind of down, and then just pop that shot again. Go straighten out. Extend the neck slightly forward. Okay. Curve of the back, the chest, everything. Neck slightly forward. Okay. Hands with purpose are at rest. There's a general rule of thumb. I think I read this in Roberto Valenzuela's book, actually, that if you pose one hand, generally you can let the other hand just hang. Doesn't need to do anything. So it's kind of a good rule of thumb. But let's go ahead and piece it all together. So now, open stance, strong stance. Straighten the spine, take a breath in. I want one hand, let's go front hand in the pocket. Let's let the right hand hang to the side. Okay, chin up, extend forward slightly to the camera. Go ahead and bring the chin just a little bit into that light. There you go, look into the camera. I love the first one. Okay, we went from like, what? What is that? What is that? This little scared kid to like freaking a model, dude. He looks amazing in that shot. Very simple, very straightforward. Yeah? The guidance for him is incredibly quick and simple too. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that guidance of what it looks like for him in the next video. So let's go to the next video now. Standing and sitting pose demonstrations for guys. So we're gonna kind of just do a quick run through. Joe, you're gonna operate my camera and just kind of, we're gonna go through and pop off a couple quick shots. Why don't you bring me a chair, Shiv? And you can just place it on the side of the set since I am not allowed to step off this white space. By the way, who's cleaning the floor later?
You.
Not cool. Thanks, buddy. All right, so let's just go ahead and start with that basic shot. Let's go ahead and just open up the stance a little bit. What I'd love is for you to kind of lean onto this side a little bit, have the hand in the pocket, let this hand hang, open the chest, look directly into the camera. And you guys will notice I'm gonna bring him back a little bit. So let me bring you back right here. And Joe, if you can zoom in so we get a nice full-length shot, but that's zoomed in onto him, that'd be fantastic. Let me go ahead and go to our loop view. Okay, we're gonna run through a series of shots. Let me see how this looks. Looks great. Bring your chin a little bit over to this side. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm short lighting, right? So I'm bringing his chin to that side so we get a little bit of a cross, a little bit of Rembrandt light on this side of the cheek. Go ahead and pop. Pop it. Pop it like it's hot. Or another dad joke that isn't very funny. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And then all we're going to do is I'm going to make some small little adjustments here. So Joe, why don't you go up to, actually let's just do a couple full-length shots. So let's go ahead and look down and towards this side, kind of like right down to the ground on that side, but chin up a little bit and eyes more down. There you go. That should look about right. Joe, go ahead and pop that shot. Pop it. Now we're doing something visually with the eyes and the chin, which actually we'll talk about and analyze later on, but you'll notice that between the last shot and this shot, it'll feel like this shot is more of a portrait, this shot is more of a fashion image. It's focused on his clothing, right? We're gonna talk about why it feels that way in a second. All right, so let's go ahead and bring your hands up like you're fixing the tie. Look down into that left side, kind of like you're fixing. Go ahead and take the shot. Yep. Me likey. Perfect. Now go ahead and just kind of like looking kind of slightly down towards what you're doing. Bring the hands back up and look down towards it.
All right.
Perfect. Joe, why don't you raise the camera? There you go. And what we're going to do, Brandon, now is you're going to take a small step back, okay? And all we're going to do is I want that hand to be in your pocket. You're going to rock forward, and we can just rock back and forward like this because I want to show you like kind of in step. So I want you to kind of rock forward and look down to the left and kind of laugh as you're about to drop onto the next foot. Go ahead and do a full-length shot of that.
One, two, three.
So awkward. 1, 2, 1, nope. Perfect.
That's a great smile.
It's perfect. Okay, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Why did the hands, I mean, in this shot, the hands were up. It makes sense, right? Why did the hands make sense there? He's doing something with them. Now, do this. Bring the hands up to the thigh, and now let's go to a tighter focal length. So can you go from thigh to top of the head?
Can you do it really awkwardly?
I love how challenging this is. And then let's raise the tripod up too, so you can get it to like his head height, basically.
Thank you, assistant.
Yep, no problem. Yep. How many people does it take to open up 3 tripod legs? If you think.
Hey. Action.
Okay. This should feel a little bit odd. Why?
The action is fake. Yeah, he's looking at the camera.
Why? Okay, so why is it fake? You said the action doesn't match the expression. You said the eyes, he's looking at the camera. Yep. The eyes are basically taking us, he's looking into the camera for a portrait, and yet his hands are doing something, right? Which, you know, this wouldn't be a bad thing if this were a celebrity. And Brandon, if you're a celebrity, and sorry, you're not a celebrity. You are now, buddy. You are now. About 200 people around the world know who you are now, roughly, give or take. But if this were a celebrity shot, it'd be okay, right? Kind of like this, like, you know, shot of like, it's a portrait of him. But if we were intending this to be a natural photograph of a groomsman, we miss the boat. Because he's looking into the camera. But as soon as we go, Brandon, do the exact same thing. Bring the eyes back down to the hands. There you go, chin up a little bit, right there, perfect. All right, now here, the chin came down too much, right? So all we're gonna do is just make a small adjustment. So do that again, bring the hands up, okay? Bring the chin over to this side. There you go, chin up a little bit. Now bring the eyes down to the hands, and then bring the chin back a little bit this way. There you go. Now kind of look down as if you're fixing the tie. Chin up a little bit while you're doing it. There you go, right there, brother. Pop that. Okay, so this is actually what it looks like when you're tying your tie, but what I want to do is make a slightly better looking version of that, where his chin is turned slightly, chin is up a little bit. It doesn't look as if he's, you know, doing this thing buried up in his tie business. Okay, so again, we can vary those focal lengths. So with this tighter angle, let's go ahead and put the hand in the left pocket. Let's go ahead and bring the chin over to the light, look right into the camera. I want to show you guys something important with these crops. There's a reason why I'm telling Joe to crop right here at the thigh. You guys see that reason?
Completes the hand, doesn't break the line.
Completes the hand, doesn't break the line, and also we need to show the gap in his pants. So don't show the gap in his pants. Crop right at, you know, yeah, his crotchal region. Crotchal region. It's going to feel awkward for a couple different reasons. One, it's going to look like he doesn't have two legs anymore. It's going to look like he has a single leg. Let me move the bar. Okay, do you see how he lost his legs? We also cropped at the joints on the fingers. That's not good, but we want to make sure that we can see the spacing between the legs. Okay, so we can go the same thing. We can do whatever we want. We can follow all those rules to get the different shots. We can bring his hands up. He can be tying a tie. He can be fixing the cufflinks. He can be doing anything that we want him to do. We can also follow the exact same rules and put him down sitting. And keep your angle where it's at right now. Go ahead and have a seat. Okay. Now, let's do the exact same things that we did. Hold on 1 second. Let me stand you up, and let me move you back a little bit and sit down right there. I want you to slouch. I want you to keep your feet pointed in. There you go. And then let's go ahead and back up the camera and do a full-length shot. And let's diminish him even more by making it a top-down shot, but full length.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Don't talk to me while I'm pooping.
Right?
Go get it, buddy.
Dude, this is so good. Okay, let's follow the same rules. Toes, shoulder width apart, toes out. There you go. I want one leg to be slightly forward past the other one. There you go. I want you to straighten the spine, okay, and then lean forward a little bit onto the one side. There you go. Perfect. Hands are great. Let me see what this looks like from right here. It's great. Bring the chin down to the side, eyes up to the camera. There you go. Now go ahead and pop that shot.
Pop it.
Didn't we not just do the exact same thing sitting versus standing, and it still translated completely? Okay.
It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What if they have really short legs?
So remember when we talked about the angles earlier? So she asked, what if they had really short legs? Jen asked if they have really short eggs. Eggs? In that case, they shouldn't have babies. I'm just kidding. So yeah, so basically all we would do, and the only issue with this shot, guys, by the way, right now, is that he's got a tie for a loincloth. I just want to point that out. We would need to fix that before we'd actually run with that. So it's actually pretty simple to fix. If he opens his jacket, There you go. And then lean forward onto the hand again. There you go. And then the tie can actually hang a little bit forward now. And now when he brings, there you go, bring this other hand down and lean into this. And if you were to take that same shot again, it would look very different. It's not going to look like a loincloth. Or you can bring the hands in a closed position where it actually like covers up the tie. That works too. So let's go ahead and bring the camera angle down now. So let's bring it back down to about his chest height. Okay. See how his feet naturally pointed straight forward again? We kind of lost some of the strength in that. It's a very easy thing to let your feet like kind of go back to these things. So you have to constantly watch for it, be vigilant. Lower even more. Let's keep going. Give Brandon a round for being our model. Take a bow. Take a seated bow. Wonderful.
Looks even better standing when you do that.
Right? It's my thing. Note to self, buy a tripod that moves quicker.
Take
Or-
care of your equipment.
It is a little sandy, I'll be honest. Okay, so you asked Jen, what do you do when his legs are a little bit shorter? All we're doing is lowering the angle. Now with a lowered angle, his legs are going to appear more, you'll have a stronger presence. So we started at a higher angle so you could see how his presence is going to change. Because now what you're going to do, brother, is, Joe, you could just, by the way, take it off the tripod. You know, I mean, just like pro tip. Take it off the tripod. Okay, so one leg forward. There you go. Open up the feet a little bit, point them out. There you go. Straighten the back. Take a breath in. Okay. Perfect. Bring the chin down to the side. Look right into the camera. There you go. Go ahead and grab that.
1, 2.
Okay, so the height of the previous shot is going to diminish him. The angle of the second shot is going to strengthen him. Go ahead and smile again so we don't have, that like hard-ass look. I don't want that look. I want the same, look at the smile. Look at your smile before, man. You look beautiful. Look at this. Look at that. There you go. There you go. Give him the smile. There we go. Okay, so if we were to compare these two, you'll see right away that taking a lower angle isn't going to increase his presence. Do you see it right here? Uh-huh.
What if they're a little bit larger?
So Jen asked, what if the subject is a little bit larger? Okay, so at that point, you have to start determining, like, it's the same set of rules that apply. You want to short light them, you want to do things, but if they're larger, it can actually be a good thing to have them be sitting. And the reason why is because as Brandon is sitting and he's leaning forward and you're doing these different types of shots, you can crop in on the face, you can crop in tight, you can crop wide, and then his arms can actually conceal the tummy and those things that they might be self-conscious about, right? But approach it the exact same way and simply be mindful of it as you're shooting. But do you guys agree that, like, stature-wise, does he not feel more masculine in this shot? Joe, are you able to get down to the ground and get a little bit closer, like maybe right here, and have him dominate the frame, just so that we can get an example of that? Do the same kind of, actually, for this one, just so we have kind of that expression that matches the look, I want you to kind of gaze down on him with no expression. Bring the chin over to this side. There you go.
Here we go. Ready? 1, 2.
Okay. Is he not getting a stronger look the lower the angle goes? Like he's basically looking down onto that camera. So you can continue to exaggerate that as much as you want with a wider focal length, a lower angle, to whatever extent that you need to get the shot that you want, okay? Okay. Stand up for 1 second, brother. I'm going to show you how the same everything applies even if you flip things around. So have a seat now, straddle the chair. Okay, now naturally, what would you do with your hands? Exactly, right? So naturally he would just rest his hands anyway or find a place to rest his hands. So it's going to be totally fine even though his hands are up. So go ahead and look into the camera and take that shot. Okay. Does everything not still apply? Like, I mean, literally all the things that we talked about, his hands are either posed or at the rest. They still apply right here. They're posed or at rest. The tie loincloth? Yeah, there's not too much you can do about it. He could try buttoning his jacket, and he could try to conceal it, but it's going to hang straight down. Yeah, it's going to look odd because it's not hanging straight anymore. So it's kind of one of those things where if you want to avoid that, what you could do is stand up for 1 sec. Okay. You could have him sit more like this, where he's just going to go like that. So back to this, but do that real quick. And I want to show you how all the same rules apply even when you're sitting in a different position. So slouch, okay, feet pointed in, okay, hands, there you go, perfect, look into the camera, smile on your face. It helps, guys, it helps seeing Brandon as a little boy. Perfect, perfect. Okay, now watch this. So now I want you to lean your back onto this side. Put your arm up onto this. There you go. Bring one leg up like it's propped up, like this. There you go. Put one hand down. Perfect. Let's open up the jacket so you don't get that fold. Okay, I want you to sit up tall, expand the chest. Okay, there you go. And what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the chair just a little bit. So let me see, angle-wise, you want it turn more or do you want it like this? Like that? Yeah. Okay. And then you're just going to go like this. Okay? Sometimes it's easier, like with this kind of stuff, to demonstrate. But what I'm having to do is just to bring the chest up, do the same thing that you were.
Turn this way more.
Let me just check out the, so we want to still straighten his tie. Okay. Perfect. Bring the chin down to the side. Hang the tie like right in the middle, brother. There we go. Look down to that left side for now.
Don't look at me. One.
Goodness. Goodness. Okay. Point has been made, right? You guys understand all the rules, whether they're sitting, whether they're standing, same thing applies. Work from the bottom up every time. Everything is based on foundation. Just think foundation throughout this entire process. I'm going to stop doing this with my hands now. Let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the next video.